let me just lay it all out for you. How can you identify that he hates black women, but not identify that you are being defensive? What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Today we will be talking about Kevin Samuels, his passing, and what I have seen as a response from this black woman, that black woman, but in general, the whole world. Okay? There's been a lot of disrespectful type of talk, you know what I'm saying, on a black man that just passed away. And if you looking for that, if that's what you looking for from me, for me to do, let me just tell you right now, I'm not gonna do it. I won't be the one to say some hateful, spiteful shit. I can't even let stuff like that come out of my mouth. So let me just lay it all out for you. Kevin Samuels is 56 years old. From what I gauge, he started off as a image consultant and was still doing that work, I believe, having private coaching for people who want to develop a better image, develop a better life, right? Kevin Samuels has been a very controversial person over the past, I want to say, year or so. He does shows on Instagram, those get posted onto YouTube, etc. So he has several different hustles that he was working on and that made him blow up. I say controversial because a lot of people took his words and twisted it. A lot of people took his words and didn't really take his words, just got very defensive. But Kevin Samuels does these shows where they stay on a structured type of topic, questions and answers. I was not very familiar with Kevin Samuels. I never watched a live video of his, but I had to really do my research and look at several different videos to really grasp his angle and to see what the real issue is, because, I mean, a lot of black women feel like what he did was drag black women. I heard a woman say, oh, you know how he dragged black women and he didn't like black women. And honestly, I don't get that. I don't gauge that at all from any conversation recorded live that he had with any female. Never seen that. Whether she was black or a part of the minority or not. I never seen a hate towards women because he wouldn't be talking to women. It's just that simple. If you use your brain, if you really use your brain, it'll work for you. You know what I'm saying? He would not be talking to women. The conversation wouldn't last long on his end. He wouldn't have many questions. He probably would just have a statement for you as a woman or as a black woman if we being specific. But how can you identify that he hates black women but not identify that you are being defensive? And not identify that you are trying to talk over him? How can you not identify that? What I gauge from what I have seen of Kevin Samuels' personality, yes, a lot of it that he says is funny. And he's not trying to be funny. He's being serious. And that's the funny part to me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just watch it for the laughs and the giggles. He's dead serious. It's a lot of different bullet points that I am going to make on topics that he has discussed. And I be want to tell you, he's right.
He's right.
Listen, one thing that we already knew is it's not easy to talk to a black woman, especially about herself. And it's hard for a black woman to see it as positive when they haven't heard that before. Nobody told you that you were 5 or 6. And the crazy part about it is, how do the very black women that call up there have this problem when you called up there and you got up there on the live willingly? Oh, I didn't know you was gonna pick me. It doesn't matter. You're on the live. You should just catch it later on YouTube. Catch it later on YouTube if you didn't want to talk to them or get advice. But the first couple things they say is, oh, I just wanted some advice from you. If you wanted advice, and I would tell anybody this is not just aimed at black women, but I'd be damned if you go up there looking for advice, and just because it's not the advice that you was looking for, was you looking for somebody to sugarcoat it, you should have talked to your mama. You feel what I'm saying? You should have talked to somebody who personally know you that can throw sugar over that shit. You should have did that. But you willingly went up there. You said that you wanted advice and you couldn't take it. And this is the misinterpretation. Do you know how many women I heard say, oh, give me a rating? Isn't that what you do? No, darling. From what I saw that he did was ask you to rate yourself, and you can't use 7. If you know that the rating thing is what gets done on the show, right? First of all, you asked a man to rate you. You rate yourself. You can't use 7 because it's a very standard and common number that women use to rate themselves, right? And that's understandable. But you're the one that said this is what happens. How do you not know that you're supposed to rate yourself? And how do you not know that he's already said that you can't use 7? It's like, where did the information go? Were you listening or were you just watching? Because it's a difference. And the words were just going in one ear and out the other. What was it? It's like a lot of them, they see the interaction go down. And for real, he just don't come to play. And how can you not respect that? How can you not respect a person that admires structure and wants to stay on topic? Can't use 7, they gonna say an 8. Okay? Who falls in line of an 8, 9, and a 10? I am not the judge of that, right? But those are very high numbers. That's the highest on the scale. And you coming up here in a bonnet. You coming up, first of all, you coming up here in a bonnet and you see this man got on. He's fully dressed. He has on a whole suit. And you just relaxing, chilling. But you deserve a high value man. That doesn't make sense. And women do say a lot of what they want in somebody else. But what about you? If you do not compare, it doesn't make sense. And it's not going to last. I understand Kevin Samuels. I understand it because I don't have the energy to be defensive. When you genuinely want help out of a situation and out of a person, advice, genuinely, there is no morsel of being defensive that I can even push out. I would just listen. Come on. He not coming to play. What happens with people that don't come to play? When you talk over them, this might get shut down if you don't stop doing that. This might just get shut down. I'm going to stop talking to you because you don't know how to have a conversation. He don't come to play. And I don't know why a lot of people did come to play. You just come to waste time. He's sitting upright, talking to you. You laying down chilling like this. Oh, hey, Kevin. Yeah. Just listen. That's all you gotta do. But no. You want a high value man. I have heard a lot of women on that show equate a high value man into strictly money. They're not saying they want love, out of the man. They want advice, guidance, romanticness. They didn't say anything like that. They said, oh, he got to be making 100 to 200K a year. That's what they think a high value man is. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that. A person's character is what either maintains a relationship, makes it thrive. It's both parties, but in a partner, you need things that's going to last. And quick question, if he's bringing in 100 to 200K a year, what are you bringing in? If he has several different degrees and he met you at Starbucks, you only got your high school diploma, what do you bring to the table? What? That's a great question that a lot of black women and a lot of women that was up there are not able to answer. You cannot have a high value man, whatever that looks like to you, if you do not equal up to that. Because how can you make him better? He's just strictly making you better. And honestly, we ain't even going to get into the 50-50 shit. But this is what I will say. You better be paying something. You better be doing something. You going to get kicked out on your ass. That's not your place. That's not your car. That's not your watch. None of it. But you think you going to leave with all that. No. It's not going down that way. I don't think of a high value man as money. A lot of women show their hand because, it's tough out here. But that's no excuse. That's no excuse. You should never be looking to marry somebody strictly for them to make you feel financially secure. You should have that covered. So what did Kevin Samuels say wrong? What did he say? Now, Vivica Fox, shame on her. You know what I'm saying? Vivica Fox, you know what? Sometimes I be here for you. To sit up and say flat out that Kevin Samuels deserved what he got, which was possibly a heart attack. I'm sure that we will find out very soon. But for you to say that he deserved that, for giving advice that was asked of him, first of all, it shows you as a sensitive. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to throw people in categories and groups, you wanted a sensitive. You felt hit. And shame on you. Because you up in age, just like Kevin Samuels was, that's still pretty young. 56, 57, that's still pretty young. But you up there. You up there, Vivica. You can't be saying stuff like that. Anything can happen to you. God forbid, right? Come on now. And for you to wish that on somebody and they would not wish that on you, come on. It's enough people that's hating, that's really showing their hate by doing these mass shootings in grocery stores and they want to show this hate against black people. and you gonna sit up and do it to a black person as a black person, and we not gonna say that's what's wrong with us. We ain't gonna say about that. But every single woman that feel hit, they want to feel comfortable coming out saying whatever they want to say. Nah, it's wrong. Listen, who the fuck made freedom of speech? I would say the same for the dude that got stabbed by his OnlyFans girlfriend. I would say the same. He said whatever the fuck he said, right? That's how he felt. How can I feel hit when he not talking about me making a fool out of myself on TV? How can I feel hit when I know that I personally would not handle shit like that? If I was on TV, why would I feel hit? Just because I'm black and black women have done that, have embarrassed themselves on TV. Why would I feel hit? A hit dog gonna holler. As much female empowerment that's going on right now, and as much black girl power that's going on right now, we gonna end up kicking y'all out. We gonna end up kicking y'all out for bringing the devil into God's work. Okay? That's what we gonna end up doing. His advice will last a lifetime because it is very fruitful. Listen, we do need to be humbled on how we view ourselves, because life is going to really humble you if you think you are 8 or 9 and you can't match. What are you talking about at 8 or 9? You talking about just looks? And if you are, you'll always and forever be humbled, because it's always going to be somebody that looks better than you. It's always going to be somebody that gets picked before you. It's always going to be that. Always. Humble yourself. I feel like we taking this black girl power and this black girl empowerment the wrong way, and it's boosting our egos instead of our confidence. Let it boost your confidence and move with fucking grace. Vivica Fox showed that she is the example of who he was talking about and who he spent a very long time giving advice to. It's women like her. Very defensive for no reason. I'm not going to sit up and be defensive over something that I know is true. And if you don't want to say that it's true, you're not being real. I've seen a lot of women up there get asked questions that they cannot answer. And the flat out truth of it all is because they can't be real. Nobody has ever asked them these questions. Nobody. Not even the guys that they choose to lay with has asked them these questions, but you want a high value man. Come on now. It's a lot of contradictions. And listen, sharing your truth and coming out with it for the right advice is what you should do. Your truth is your truth. But when asking for advice and guidance, you gotta be prepared for what comes with that. And you should be grateful to have somebody to ask that will give you an honest response. A lot of people in this world is not gonna be real with you, even family. So in all honesty, every single person that got up there and was able to have a conversation with them, whether it went left or however, I hope they took something from it. I hope they feel grateful at some point in their lives, you know, in reflecting on that, because he's no longer here. Nobody is God. Not one person, either on social media that you can see in real life, no person is God. You, whoever, don't have a right to say somebody deserves something or not. Especially if we talking about natural causes and God's work. Don't bring that worship. Don't bring up sacrifice. Don't bring up karma. It's actual people that deserve karma for the sins that they've committed, for the people that they've negatively affected. But to see positive advice as a negative effect is a motherfucker. It really is. It's like, do y'all have beer goggles on? Especially with my community. Especially with who's supposed to be my homegirls, but you see what the problem is? That's why a lot of black women ain't friends. Because we can't be honest with one another because, oh, we know she gonna take it defensive. We know she gonna flip off. You're scared, right? It's a lot of saying things, saying this and saying that without saying what it really is. Answering a yes or no question with an essay is not what was asked of you. Another issue, just can't stay on topic. We can't be honest with each other. Isn't that what we always wanted? I'm confused. Shame on Vivica and shame on any black woman, young or old, middle-aged or otherwise, that feels hit enough to say things that somebody that really hates you would say to you. I really don't believe that if Kevin Samuels hated black women, he would be so consistent on talking to black women or minority women or white women. He wouldn't. We need to know what real hate is. And that be the problem. We claim to be so strong, but it's a sheltered mindset. Mindset to automatically feel attacked when we need all the help we can get. And we know that. I get it. You know, it's a mechanism that we use to protect ourselves. But when we gonna let the guard down so that we can really get the help that we need? And just because he got a suit on don't mean he can talk. He can't talk however he want to talk. It's a freedom of speech thing. I'm in a state of confusion. Like, it was to the point where he would say something and yeah, saying got a curse word in it. Okay? But that doesn't mean that he has an attitude. I've seen multiple women like, whoa, don't cuss at me. You're making it about this and it's really about that. Come on. I mean, it's almost like some women did get up there just to argue. Listen, go argue with your baby dad. Go argue with his dad. Go argue with your family. Go argue. Don't come up there arguing. You got a chip on your shoulder, but you need help. Pick which one you want. Because he was going to give you either one. And I respect that. I admire it. It makes me feel better. Because honestly, you know, in most cases, people hold their tongue on telling people the truth, but I don't be wanting to. I mean, we in a day and age where you come up there with the question, he give you the answer, or you come up there wanting advice, he gives you advice, and then you say he hates black women because the advice was not what you expected. The advice was probably what you thought you didn't need, but you did. All of them did. It's just so many different things. Like 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, you still looking for love? Find love with yourself first. And understand that that's a lot for a man to even deal with. That's a lot. He's gonna have to really fucking love you. And what time? With 3 fucking children, possible any baby daddy popping up any day. Too much. And you haven't heard that. People just like, oh no, keep the faith, keep looking. Is somebody out there for you? It might be. But don't keep looking. Okay? I feel like a lot of women that are constantly looking for love and having babies by different men, it's just going to keep going. By the time the youngest one's 6, it's going to be 3 more. You know? Just because you just keep looking and hitting the wall. Keep looking and hitting the wall. And you looking in the same area. A high value man doesn't have shit like that going on in his personal life. That's not what high value men do. Come on now. And I might end up having to go back and find a few. Because it's like, come on now, we're not about to do this. We're not about to throw smut on this man's name when he did nothing wrong. When you really should be thanking him. I never heard the term high value man or high value woman before, but it's what you make it. In my eyes, it's all in what you make it. I feel like if a person's character and their drive is gold, that's high value. You could get very far like that. Versus a person with a shitty personality, you know, not willing to take advice, but oh, you got money. It's not going to last. It's never going to last. Because you wouldn't even take the advice that somebody give you to invest. You just wouldn't do it. Not every black woman feels the way that the ones that are hit, you know, obviously hit, you know. We don't feel that. A lot of us don't feel that way. I can give credit when it's due. And I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. I even seen a different type of conversation. I think it was the Fresh and Fit guys, but they wasn't talking. It was another guy talking. And, you know, one of the women that was sitting there, they was saying something about, oh, a guy doesn't care about a woman's education, you know, for her to be with him. That's not true. A lot of the men that y'all looking for that have these fat bank accounts are older men. So you gonna have to be a sugar baby. But you ain't ready to do that. A lot of these men do make $200, $300 a year. But when you're not even bringing in $1,000 a year, where you gonna meet him at? You can't get into the country club. You can't get up in the skybox. How can you feel right? That's my thing. How can you feel right about you not bringing anything to the table? Not even an education of your own. How can you feel right about that? You shouldn't. As women in today's time, you shouldn't. It's no excuse. It's no excuse to not have a good education. No excuse. To not have money coming in of your own and streams of income so that if anything happens, you will be straight. If you continuously look at a person to take care of you when they get tired of doing that shit, you gonna be out on your ass with nothing. And I don't want to see y'all on Instagram talking about he kicked you out of the place that he paid for. He won't let you drive the car that he paid for. Flat out, plain and simple, Kevin Samuels is the definition in my eyes as an alpha male. A lot of people can't have a conversation with alpha males. It is a difference when a man is a asshole versus an alpha male. it may come off somewhat, or, you know, somewhat similar, or some things alike. But it is different. And you got to take your pride out of it. You got to take your level of being defensive out of it, and you'll see it for what it really is. You'll see if a guy's really or if he is an alpha male and he demands respect just like we do. And all of us ain't alpha females. But all of us have that trait. You're going to respect me? No. You're going to respect him. And in turn, it could be a great conversation because he's going to respect you as well. None of what he said was disrespectful. I've watched countless and countless since the time of his passing. I don't see it that way. I don't see it in a way where he hated me, where he hated my mama, where he hated any of us. It's your girl, B. Octavia, and I will see y'all in my next video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to see y'all.